Hey everyone. Well, I just got back to the Capitol after spending the morning at the Department of Justice reading the Epstein files, and it's a lot to process. There's a lot of truly dark, disgusting, and disturbing material in those files. And to understand the depths of depravity, I just can't even, there aren't words to describe what are in those files. But it's very clear that the United States government has failed to hold perpetrators accountable for decades in this case, with the original sin of failing to prosecute Jeffrey Epstein in 2006 when the FBI and the Department of Justice had the opportunity to, which allowed him to continue to abuse women across his properties and across the world. And it's so dark. It's so dark. A few things I want to say is that it's very clear that Department of Justice is covering up names of potential perpetrators and powerful people. As you're aware, Thomas Massie unmasked Sultan last night, and I can tell you that there is all kinds of disturbing correspondence between Jeffrey Epstein and various world leaders, including leaders from the Kremlin, involving conversations about women. There's a lot of redactions involving co-conspirators, many of which the FBI identified as assistants and people who worked for Jeffrey Epstein. Many of them were women. They were schedulers, assistants, but they were often the people that the survivors interacted with when they were brought in to be abused by Epstein and Maxwell and were paid by these individuals and scheduled, etc. I spent a fair amount of my time this morning looking at the files on Zorro Ranch. There's some dark stuff there. And I think it's really important that our colleagues, State House Representatives Mariana Anaya and Andrea Romero, are conducting this Truth Commission, because the FBI never did a full forensic investigation of the ranch property, and it's clear that crimes were committed there, and people knew about it. There were victims who went to the FBI, who went to law enforcement, and those crimes were never followed up on, and the ranch was sold from the estate before a full investigation could be done. So there's a lot of unanswered questions about Zorro Ranch in New Mexico, what went down there, why it was not fully investigated, why people were not held accountable. And frankly, as a New Mexican, to anyone who was hurt there, my heart goes out to you, and the miscarriage of justice in this case is just stunning, appalling, disgusting, and I'm sorry. I mean, just what happened to people in all of these places is just horrific. I also spent some of my time at DOJ looking at the lists of individuals who the FBI had received and investigated tips of sexual assault and violence on. Those are public documents. They're in the public domain. Donald Trump is on them, absolutely, 100%. There were multiple credible tips and corroborated tips provided to the FBI by survivors. And yeah, there's just a lot here. So more to be said about it, but that's my initial take on the whole thing. So I'll keep you guys up to date. Bye, everyone.